All right. Well, hello. I guess I'm the only one here right now, unless there are some lurkers in here. Um. So hopefully, if there are any lurkers in it here, I hope you had a good day today. I guess we're gonna wait a few minutes, see if anybody else shows up. Just go check something here while I'm waiting. So I hope you'll be coming. Hope you'll be coming. I want this down. When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all those who oppose his shield must yield. To the red and the white and the blue it comes true when Captain America throws his mighty shield. Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest wheels. As Iron Man, all jets of flame, he fights and fights with repulsor rays. Amazing power is Iron Man. Amazing power is Iron Man. Doc Bruce Banner, belted by gamma rays, turned into Hulk. Ain't he just gallantry? Wrecking the town with the powerful, ain't so monster. Who isn't lovable? The ever-loving Hulk. Hulk, Hulk. We got a second person in here. Hello, second person. Hopefully you've had a good day today. Always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That helps with the algorithm. Helps to get more people in here. Hopefully we'll see some more people in here soon. Let's see now. Let's see. I guess whoever's in here might just be lurking. That's cool. Let's see now. Just past the 4-minute mark. Wait for there we go. Hey, TC. Hey, Mike. I had a very long and hot day. Very tired. Well, I'm glad you made it. Been missing you, and people been, Solid Redfield's been back, and he even asked about you, like if you were still around. We had to explain to him that you've been working, so I hope everything else is going okay. I know you're probably tired because you've been back to work more recently, but I hope everything else is going all right with you, man. Cross the rainbow bridge of Asgard, where the blooming heavens roar, and behold in credulous wonder the god of thunder, mighty Thor. I'm doing well, Avalon. That's good to hear. Good to see, good to hear. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater and go flying through the air. See, getting used to my new diet. Okay, that's cool. Stronger than a whale, he can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater, go flying through the air. Noble submariner, prince of the deep, so beware of deadly demons. Lord Namor of Atlantis is the prince of the deep. Everyone's late. Yeah. Well, here's Drexel, Lord of Simpson and Cooks. Sing the drunken sailor shanty. Don't know if I know that one. I do know of another one. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish 'cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish 'cause I eat my spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Doot, doot. Now we got 4 people in here. Yay, 4 people. As always, guys, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the audience. So if you can help me out with that, that'd be very appreciated. Yeah. Okay, so we got 4 people now. We're 7.5 minute mark. I might shortly here at the 8 minute mark. I might go ahead and tell you guys what's on tap for tonight. So Drexel, I hope your day went well today. I hope you had a good day today. We have a couple of lurkers as well, so that's okay though. All right, so we're just past 8 minutes. Oh, there's Toys. Okay, with another comment. How about going to be buying a new work car mic? I'm grabbing a retired police interceptor. Oh, I'm grabbing a retired police interceptor. Level hard. I must put lights back on it. And there's Woody. What do you do with a drunken sailor early in the morning? Hey, Woody. All right, so we're coming up on 9 minutes. So, and there's 80. Hey, 80. Let's see what you have to say today and tonight. Hi, Mike. Kitty Man Sea Shanty song from Trailer Park Boys is a favorite song of mine. Well, I don't know that one, unfortunately. Hey, Drexel. Hey, Woody from Toys. Hey, 80. Hi, everyone. Okay. All right. So we're coming up on 9.5 minutes. So I'll kind of go over what I have. 5 stories, all from Bounding. This week, Bounding into Comics been pretty busy. They've been really pushing out stories quite a bit this week. We've had 5 each day this week. Monday, yesterday, and today. So and we have 5 today, as I said. So here's what's on tap for today. Chuck Dixon explains why politics don't belong in superhero comics. Chuck Dixon, who's known for creating Bane, and I heard he also created Tim Drake. And I have a feeling this interview may link to the story that came out a couple days ago, where in Batman Urban Legends number 6. They decided to retcon Tim as being gay. Image Comics announces huge sales numbers for King Spawn #1, dominates Marvel and DC Comics. I think they're a little woke too, but Spawn isn't really a woke title anyways. They don't try to. I mean, Todd McFarlane sits there and tries to politicize anything. The Digimon Tamers writer Chiaki Konaka responds to the backlash against the cancel culture stage play we talked about last week, and this story's been kind of where Jason DeMarco, who's the top guy at Toonami, is now they're saying, quote unquote, they're going to develop anime created and produced in Japan in parentheses there. I know this is something that Yellow Flash has talked about quite a bit. That there's been a little bit of hoopla around that. And also, Jim Steranko, famous Marvel writer, has made a suggestion that watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe is painful. So those are the 5 stories we'll be looking at tonight. Let's see if you guys are saying anything since I started. And nope, looks like not. Hopefully everybody's still here because the counter's saying 3. Anyways, let's and I do thank you guys for all the likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. Just trying to check something real quick. All right. All right, and so without any further ado, now let's go ahead and get to these stories here. All right, so here's the first one here. We're gonna. Oh, before I get to, I guess I should share that. I don't know where my head's at right now. There we go. Finally did share that article. Alrighty then. All right, so good. We're back up to 4 people watching now. Okay, so here we go. Prolific Batman writer Chuck Dixon explains why politics do not belong in superhero comics. Written by John F. Trent, published today. Prolific Batman writer and the creator of the villain Bane, Chuck Dixon, recently explained why politics do not belong in superhero comics. This is a cover from the Nightfall arc in Batman, in which Bane's introduced, and Bane's, of course, the character who broke Batman's back. So, Dixon shared his thoughts in his most recent episode of Ask Chuck Dixon, where he was asked by Chris Cueva, quote, "Are you against politics in comics completely?" Unquote. Dixon answered the question stating, quote, "Absolutely not. I've written political books. I did The Forgotten Man, A History of the Great Depression, adapting Amity Shale's epic history of some of the darkest years in American history," unquote. He continued, quote, "I don't think it's political, but it is because it's seen to have a conservative viewpoint. It's very down on the New Deal, which I don't think history is going to judge well in the end. So I've done that," unquote. Quote, "Clinton Cash, a far more political book, an adaptation of Peter Schweitzer's exposure of Bill and Hillary Clinton's rather tawdry work with their foundation, and how basically they used it to enrich themselves, is purely political. So I'm not against politics in comics. I'm not against anybody's politics in comics, unquote, he detailed. Dixon then went on to discuss that he read Spain Rodriguez's Trash Man series. He said, quote, back in the underground days, I used to read Trash Man by Spain Rodriguez. It basically calls for Marxist revolution in the United States. Bloody Marxist revolution. It's very anti-American, very anti-white when you get right down to it. He elaborated, quote, I dug the energy of it. I didn't believe in any of it. I didn't agree with any of it, but I certainly respected Spain Rodriguez's right to make any comic book he wants, unquote. At least as far as saying that he believes that politics do have a space somewhere in comics, in the comic book stream, but let's continue on here. Dixon then transitioned to explain why he believes politics doesn't belong in superhero comics. He explained, quote, my problem with politics in comics is when you mix it with mainstream comics, when superheroes take a side, decide that they're Democrat or Republican, and 99.99% of the time, they are going to side with the Democrat, where one president is seen as a hero and the other one is seen as an ogre or a coward or whatever, depending on their party line, unquote. So he's not against, so basically what Chuck is saying here, he's not against politics and comics overall, but he's against them being put into I think what he's saying is superheroes should be neutral. They should just do what's right, regardless of what political situation is going on. I think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying superheroes should be neutral and just do what's right, which I think is a pretty good message. Quote, now, like the old Mad magazine, if comics were to either elevate or mock each president with the same severity to the same level, I'd be fine with it. But this is politics being put into a place it does not belong. Politics does not belong in superhero comics, Dixon declared. Well, It is a very interesting point of view to have, and I think we see why it's not such a good idea to start putting your own politics into comics, particularly into superhero comics. That Batman needs glasses for his red eyes, or Visine. But who says what is right? Politics do play in the USA, and who is right or wrong? Well, I mean, look at Superman's classic saying, right? Superman fights for truth, justice, and the American way. But, anyways, I think his point being is that superheroes should be neutral and not be political. I think that's the point he was making here, 80. He then asserted, quote, I've said it before, I've said it again, I'm a comics fan. You're a comics fan. But let's face it, these characters were created to entertain children. They were never meant to be political. They were never meant to be literature. They were never meant to be meaningful. They were just meant to be good, solid, American, red-blooded entertainment, and putting politics into it ruins it. It ruins anything, unquote. Quote, if you made a political kung fu movie, I would say the same thing. Get off it, stop doing that, unquote, he concluded. What do you make of Dixon's explanation about why politics do not belong in super? Well, I kind of agree with him. You know, I mean, we have had political stories, in comics before. I mean, not always real world politics either. Sometimes they've had their own political issues, even within certain comics universes. DC, for example, had the Cadmus arc, which of course also played out on Justice League Unlimited, the cartoon Justice League Unlimited. Where the government thought the Justice League was becoming too powerful to where they were a legitimate threat. So they tried to find ways to neutralize them. And you've had, of course, over the years, and in the comics, you've had certain things like an identity crisis where, after the third Dr. Light had discovered, the elongated man's identity and went after his wife, they basically wiped his memory clean, and then had to wipe Batman's memory clean because Batman didn't agree with it. So I mean, you have moral dilemmas like that. Anyways, all right. So, anyways, now we're getting ready to move on to the next article here. See, where are we at now? We're at 23 minutes. And thank you to 3 people watching. Hope everybody's still here. I know some of you will be lurking. I know, Tori, you said you were tired, so I understand that. I hope everybody's enjoying the content thus far. All right, so here's the next article then. Image Comics announces huge sales numbers for King Spawn #1. Dominates Marvel and DC Comics. And of course they do, because, again, Todd McFarlane, who's the writer for the Spawn series, I think in Spawn, at least, he's never put any of that, like, politics into it. He doesn't, it's kind of a horror hero type of story. So, anyways, this article was also written by John F. Trent, published today. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article here. Image Comics announced that Todd McFarlane's upcoming King Spawn #1 book shattered comic book sales. I think there was a bit of hype about this too. The publisher claims that King Spawn #1 had just under 500,000 pre-orders of the book from comic book retailers. That, quote, this marks the single largest new superhero monthly title launch in the comic book industry in the past 25 years, based on the standard sales formula of the comic book industry, quote, or in parentheses, non-returnable, non-retailer exclusive sales. unquote. 25 years, so that would mean going all the way back to 1996. Of course, some of you may remember, I think it was in the 90s, the Spawn animated series in the 90s on HBO, or Showtime, one of the two. They add that, quote, no Avengers or Justice League character has debuted a monthly book with sales numbers like King Spawn #1 in the 21st century, unquote. Specifically, Image notes that the book's pre-orders totaled 497,000. And again, Spawn doesn't have, the Spawn franchise doesn't get political here, even though we've known over the last few months the CEO has, the Image CEO, the Image Comics CEO, has kind of flapped his gums about his own, political biases and all that. But the fact that Spawn doesn't give in to the political hype and just writes good stories, that's probably why they had such a strong launch here. When DC Comics relaunched their entire line with the New 52 back in 2011, their flagship book, Batman, only shipped 188,420 units for its first issue. In September 2011, Justice League #1 topped the charts at 171,344 in August 2011. Then in 2016, when they launched their DC Rebirth initiative, the first issue of Batman shipped 280,360 units in June. It was beaten by Marvel's Civil War II that shipped 381,737 units. And now, of course, they're doing another reboot of the DC universe we call Future State now. So sometimes rebooting things like that just continues, like 3 times in the past 15 years here, rebooting, or 3 times in the last 10 years here. You had it in 2011 and 16. Now you have it in 2021. So, I mean, yeah, that's going to probably have some problems to it too when you just reboot every 5 years to fit whatever societal view you have, While Image Comics claims King Spawn is the best-selling superhero comic book of the 21st century, Marvel's relaunch of Star Wars in January 2015 shipped 985,976 units. However, the Star Wars brand would take a significant hit with the release of the sequel trilogy, and the relaunched book in 2020 would only ship 97,053. Maybe more impressive is that King Spawn #1 comes off the release of Spawn's Universe #1. That was Image Comics' top-selling book since 1998. King Spawn #1 beat Spawn's Universe #1 by over 200,000 orders. Now, from everything I've been hearing, too, from other commentators as well on this, I think one of the things Todd McFarlane is now trying to do here is he's trying to really further establish the Spawn universe here, to where it's like one big universe. They're going to start featuring other characters as well. And as long as they don't go political, and as long as they don't start trying to pull woke baloney like DC and Marvel, like the big two, Spawn may be one of the main granted, we have a lot of good indie stuff out there too, but I mean, in terms of some of the more mainstream comics, Image Comics may be one of the ones who might be able to knock DC and Marvel off their respective thrones. Might be able to jump at them as long as they don't go too political, and as long as their CEO doesn't come out and start making any stupid statements like he's done in the past. Let's see what you guys are all saying here. We got Robert Roberts here. Hey, Robert. Let's see. At 80, Pickle goes underwater while listening to Kitty Man sea shanty song. Hey, Robert. Hail Xenu, fellow T-Gakians. Hey, man. As always, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. That does help with the algorithm. I hope you guys can help me out with that as you come in. Hail. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content here thus far. All right. So, anyways, as we get back to the article, then let's see. Back in June, Image announced that Spawn's universe had sold, quote, well over 200,000 units, unquote. So that's pretty impressive. What I think they mean by units is, of course, both books and maybe digitally as well. So, Spawn and King Spawn creator Todd McFarlane said, quote, the numbers that came in were much higher than what I had projected. With sales that now have a historical impact in our industry, unquote. And again, going to show you that good stories, as long as you don't try to preach to people, will sell. Quote, it proves that the character Spawn and the world he lives in still resonates to fans almost 3 years after I first introduced him. But the biggest thing for me is having King Spawn becoming another example to the creative community that you can have creator-owned success outside of the two huge publishing giants, Marvel and DC Comics, unquote, he continued. And that's true. Plus, from everything I've read, I don't think, again, Todd McFarlane doesn't try to preach to you either. McFarlane added, quote, every story that shows you can make a career on your own will hopefully inspire other talented people to try. As president of Image Comics, advocating for the creators has been our goal. As president of Image Comics, advocating for the creators has been our goal since its inception in 1992. I didn't know he was president. But there's another guy who's a CEO, so you have two at the top there. King Spawn #1 is the first monthly title as part of McFarlane's Spawn universe. Let's see. The creator previously revealed his goal for the universe, saying, quote, I've waited almost 30 years to be able to get to this moment. To deliver on ideas, I hope they will grow from this initial seed called Spawn's Universe, #1, into a fully formed world populated with hundreds and hundreds of characters in the near future. Now that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Trying to build Spawn Universe at Image. Quote, the stage will be set with this book, and soon I'll be launching into new monthly titles for the first time since 1992. I can't wait to show comic readers all the crazy ideas in my head, as well as opening up the floodgates to do so many talented creators that have said they'd like to join me on this journey, unquote, he added. See, this is the kind of work you see when the creator is not trying to preach to you. And these are the results when you're not being preached at through your comic books. King Spawn number one's official description reads, quote, a historical new ongoing Spawn series begins. The launch of this book, nearly 3 decades in the making, further expands the Spawn universe with a growing presence of hell, heaven, and heroes here on Earth. It continues, quote, a classic villain from Spawn's past has begun asserting his powers on Earth by corrupting as many souls as possible. And only Spawn knows that he even exists. Continuing the dramatic battles from Spawn's Universe number 1, this is where it all begins. The description concludes, quote, don't miss out. The last time a new ongoing Spawn series launched was in 1992, unquote. King Spawn number 1 arrives on comic shelves on August 25th. Let's see. So when's that? So today's the 11th. So that's 2 weeks from today. It will retail for $5.99. So just under $6. Now, mind you, probably with tax included, it's probably going to be closer to $6.50, maybe $7. But depending upon where you're at and like what the sales tax is and all that. Here's a Ashcan copy there of King Spawn number 1. You plan on picking up King Spawn number 1? All right, so I always enjoy your channel, Mike, is pound 80. Pinches Mike on the butt. Okay. Hail, just got out of the Pop XP show. Hey, RJ, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming in, man. As always, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares if you can help out, help get more people in. We've had some interesting comic stories tonight. Chuck Dixon, I read through. Chuck Dixon had some interesting things to say about how he doesn't believe politics should be in superhero comics. And then I just read a story on King Spawn number 1, where apparently King Spawn number 1 has, I guess, achieved being the greatest launched comic in the 21st century, I guess, by sales numbers. So, anyways. Let me see. All right. So, anyways, thank you for coming in there, RJ. And I hope everybody's enjoying the content as we get ready to move on to the next set of stories here in the anime section here. A couple stories from anime here. And of course, that's kind of a continuation of story we covered last week in regards to the whole that stage play that Digimon Tamers cast and crew did from Japan. So here we go. Digimon Tamers writer Chiaki Konaka responds to backlash against cancel culture DigiFest 2021 stage play. So we're at coming up on 40 minutes here, so I guess I'm making good time here. About halfway through this. So, anyways, article by Spencer Bakuli, published earlier today, Anime and Censorship. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this article now. Digimon Tamers writer Chiaki J. Konaka has responded to the backlash against the recently performed DigiFest 2021 stage play, which saw the eponymous Tamers take on the physical embodiment of political correctness, quote unquote, explaining that the script was inspired by the frustration with the ongoing censorship of differing viewpoints across social media. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty, yeah, I think everybody knew that. I think everybody figured that out. It was obvious with that. Um, Taking to his personal blog on August the 9th, which was this past Monday, Konaka, whose other notable credits include Serial Experiments Lane, which I love. I love the opening theme to that. That's kind of got a spooky thing to it. That's kind of a surreal anime. And the Big O, a Toonami classic right there, opened his response by noting in a disclaimer that, quote, since the distribution of this video was for the Japanese domestic market and is not a show that can be legitimately viewed by people outside of Japan, I am not inherently responsible for expressing my opinions to the international community, unquote. Yeah. Again, as I had said before, though, I don't, they weren't making any money off of it. If they didn't like the content, why'd they, the sub companies who I'm talking about, why'd they decide to sub it? That's, I mean, quote, however, unquote, he stipulated, quote, I know that the 2018 CD drama, quote, Digimon Tamers 2018, unquote, was shown, heard with subtitled versions in several languages, and I knew that this reading drama would eventually be known to fans around the world, unquote. I think also in part he was saying that this stage play was also may have been just more intended for the Japanese audience, not necessarily for. Turning to the stage play itself, Konaka explained, quote, the purpose of the show is to show the personalities and acting skills of the voice actors who perform to the fullest. There is no video, so there is no time to explain the details of the setting, unquote. Quote, realistic elements were also depicted in the original 2001 version, such as Five Eyes, in brackets, an international signals intelligence network operated between the United Kingdom, United States of America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, unbracketed, and others as background, unquote, he added, pointing out how the original series dealt with contemporary interest issues. Quote, Tamers is not set in the near future, but in the present day, unquote. Admitting that, quote, some of the words I used were controversial, unquote, Konaka further affirmed that he, quote, did not intend to condemn any particular person or group in this drama, unquote, but clarified that his script was inspired by his frustrations with local Japanese coverage of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, quote, where all the mainstream media insist on calling a positive PCR test a, quote, confirmed infected, unquote. I guess they're having some of these issues over in Japan too, a little bit. Quote, when the pandemic started, I stopped opening Twitter for about a year, unquote, he recalled. Quote, I just stopped watching CNN US, which I had subscribed to on cable to see what was really going on. And I've been reading what independent alternative journalists are gathering from open sources referring to links as I go, unquote. So this guy's doing quite a bit of homework then. Let's see. Before I continue on, let me see if anybody's saying, see if there's anything to. All right. Let's see. You are a treasure, Mike, and I say things because I like watching your reaction. Tell Mrs. Mike it is all good fun, and I do learn a lot from all. Well, 80. I'm not married. I am single. Just an FYI. So there is no Mrs. Mike to worry about with that. Um, but thank you. um, which proves a point that comics are politically influenced. Well, yeah, to a certain to a certain extent, yeah. Sometimes they are, but it shouldn't be. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have politics because politics is a part of life. I mean, governments are a part of reality. You go back to the '40s and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, FDR was a frequent guest star in a number of different comics, and comic book companies would have him in their comics. He was he was credited in later, it was, I guess it was retcon that he created the All-Star Squadron in DC and may have had a hand in creating the Justice Society. Anyway, so going back to this article here, then, to that end, noting how, quote, in my personal opinion, COVID 19 is, of course, real. Even if SARS hyphen CoV 2 has not been isolated and segregated, unquote, Konaka further revealed that the script was also influenced by his disagreement with, quote, the exclusion of alternative journalists from the major platforms, unquote, as well as, quote, the fact that the counter perspective was hidden, unquote. Yeah. Well, okay, the whole thing with the vaccine push and the mask mandates, all that, that's all a power play. That's all it is. Okay? That's what it boils down to. It's a power play. It's a bunch of people in power trying to use fear to subjugate a society. Okay? That's what it comes down to. That's why we have to fight back against that. But anyways, quote, I think that my feelings were reflected in Yamaki's strong words, unquote. He added, before detailing how, quote, the situation had changed between the time I wrote the scenario in early spring and August 1st, this is not so much about Japan as it is about new difficulties that countries around the world are facing. So it was no longer timely to send out messages to the rest of the world, unquote. Which may be a slight dig on a lot of the Twidiots. um, as a statement drew to a close, Konaka stated, quote, there were people who accused me of having a particular label, unquote, but countered these accusations by asserting, quote, I've never expressed any particular political beliefs, unquote. Quote, there was no anime that brought more diversity to that era than, in smaller quotes, Digimon Tamers. Unsmaller quotes. So I was sad, but don't worry, unquote, he concluded. Quote, a lot of people have defended me and told me not to apologize. And you shouldn't. Yellow Flash will tell you don't apologize. I am telling you don't apologize. Okay? If you start apologizing for this, they're just going to start hammering you even more. We've seen it here in the States quite a bit. But it's very hard to see such a divide among the fans. Let me just apologize for the fact that I caused it to happen. Again, don't apologize. You shouldn't have to apologize for your viewpoint. Never, never, never apologize for your viewpoint. You have as much a right to your views as anybody else does. You have as much a right to communicate your views as much as anybody else does. What you don't have a right to do is to force your views or your perspectives on other people. If you don't want to get the vaccinated, it's your choice to do so. Shouldn't be punished for that. No entity, no government, no person, nobody has a right to tell you how to live your life. Let's see. So, with that, let's see. I don't want any more debate on this issue, unquote. What do you make of Kanaka's response to the DigiFest 2021 stage play backlash? I don't know. Well, I think I overall agree with what he had to say. I just think he should not have apologized. And I think there are a lot of people out there who would agree with me on that. So let's see now. I think. Well, I know it doesn't. I think 80. Well, I'll be quick. Dude. Alrighty then. So, anyways, moving on to the next article here, which, of course, is something that's been talked about quite a bit as well. This article is, of course, in regards to Toonami getting into. Let's see. It looks like 80 had something more to say here. 80 at 80 pickle goes outside to find a switch to whip Mike's rear end because sometimes in life everyone needs to apologize. Well, you don't. Yeah, but you don't apologize. Yeah, depends upon the situation. You know, you don't apologize for your views. Okay. Like if you have a relationship with people, you know, your friends, if you do them wrong, yeah. If you have friends and you do them wrong, then yeah, you should apologize for that. But you never apologize to SJWs, okay? Because it will never be enough. If you feel you are right, you have nothing to apologize for. You have nothing to apologize for if you feel you are right. And you can reason that you are right. Okay? Yes, when it comes to those close to you, family members, close friends, you know, even casual friends, you're right, 80, in that there are certain things you should apologize for. Okay? If you hurt them in some way, if you hurt their feelings, or you, well, not even as much that, but I mean, you know, when it comes to people who are friends, close, who are close to you, family members, friends, yeah, it's okay to apologize, but you don't need to be apologizing. Nobody needs to be apologizing to some SJW who you don't even know, because ultimately, it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough for them. And why waste your energy apologizing to somebody who's probably miles away from you, who, aside from just being a nuisance on social media, really has no bearing on your life, or should have no bearing on your life. You know. So, anyways, let's move on to the next article here. Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network tapped Toonami co-creator Jason DeMarco to develop anime, quote unquote, created and produced in Japan. Code for America needs to get over to Japan and start, diluting anime more, to fit more with our viewpoint. We need to squash all that free expression of the Japanese. Let's see. Article written by Spencer McCooley. And I know, of course, Yellow Flash talked a bit about this. Tug talked about this as well, I believe. I believe there have been a few people who talked about this. So let's get to this. Toonami co-creator and current Adult Swim senior VP, Jason DeMarco, has been tapped by Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network to lead the development of original anime content, which the executive asserted will be created and produced in Japan, unquote. As announced via Deadline on August 10th, yesterday, DeMarco has been appointed to the new dual role of Senior Vice President, Action, Anime and Action Series long form for Warner Brothers Animation and Cartoon Network Studios, a position which will see him, quote, responsible for identifying and developing projects in the animated action genre to develop and produce series and long-form programming for all audiences, unquote. Now, Yellow Flash, in his coverage, has hinted that this is kind of the West way of trying to subvert anime, because, first off, the term anime only applies to Japanese animation. Okay? That anime is really just the term that is used to apply to Japanese animation. Anything else is animated is like, here in the West we have Western animation. Most series are classified as animated series based on the country of origin. The term anime is just specifically for Japanese animation. So, we're just under a minute. We're coming up on the minute mark here. Okay, so this does not mean the end of DeMarco's involvement with Adult Swim, as he will continue to serve as Senior Vice President, Head of Anime and Action Series at Adult Swim, reporting directly to Warner Brothers Animation Cartoon Network Studios President Sam Register and Adult Swim President Michael Owinleen. And he source Toonami Total Immersion Event Cosmo Samurai 2021. In a brief statement to Deadline, DeMarco told the trade news outlet, quote, I got into this business because I love action cartoons and storytelling, unquote. DeMarco said, quote, being able to work in anime and action development, two areas of animation I care about deeply, is a dream come true, unquote. Marco expanded on his new role in a thread published to his personal Twitter account, writing, quote, to clarify a bit, this new position means that other than Toonami, my full-time job will be making series and feature films, unquote. Um, quote, I won't be involved in marketing or promotion for anything at Adult Swim beyond Toonami, unquote. He added, quote, sadly, that includes music. I will still consult there a bit, but I won't be working as Adult Swim singles or albums anymore, unquote. So he's the one who apparently was producing a lot of the music. I don't know. Some of you remember some of the Toonami classics, like "Walk Around in Circles," "Walk Around in Circles," "Walk Around in Circles," "Walk, Walk, Walk." I just need to walk around in circles, walk around. So, anyways, the newly promoted executive continued, quote, also, guys, when they say anime, here they mean anime as in quote unquote created and produced in Japan, which is true. Quote, not anime esque as in Avatar or Castlevania, although I'm interested in that sort of production too, quote unquote. He clarified, quote, but I'm definitely making a bunch of anime in case there's any doubt, unquote. In response to a fan who asked if his new position implied that Warner Brothers, quote, will be opening animation studios in Japan, unquote, Marco explained, quote, no, it means we will be overseeing productions that we work with Japanese studios to make, unquote. So again, as Yellow Flash was even warning, well, Funimation sitting on boards over there right now, Jason DeMarco and Cartoon Network are going to be getting into it too, where they're going to be basically be having more of a say of what gets produced over there, is what they're basically trying to say. And the big concern is that because of that, you may start, unfortunately, seeing more, at least some more, if not totally political, politics being immersed into Toonami. You'll start seeing some ideological bents put in there. Anyways, excuse me a moment. I gotta go tend to my dog, and when I come back, I'll catch up on some of the comments here. All right, I'm back. So let's see what's been said here because I know there's a bit of conversation going on. It looks like. Do you see Leto came in here? Hey, Mike, Toys, Drex, 80, Woody, Roberts, and Critical. How are y'all? Um, I'll be listening on in, but be driving to work. So sorry if I don't. That's okay. Hey, drive safe, my friend. Um, Mike, do you have a list? Yes, I do. I do have a slight lisp there. Um, considering that I am a developmentally disabled adult, and one of my diagnoses is a mild form of cerebral palsy. So I do have a lisp, though. So, hey, Little from Toys. Let's see. Hi, Little. I was thinking I scare others when I am here, and no one says anything. Let's see now. Hey, Toys. Hope you're fine at your new job. Nah, you're fine, 80. It's boring. No, 80. I'm just old and tired. Laugh out loud. Let's see. Solid saying to Leto, hello, Leto. Saw your OJ video earlier. Hey, Solid. Welcome to the stream, man. I am the same. And as always, guys, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. If you guys can help out with that, that'd be appreciated. As always, Leto and China, they hug, but only pats on the on the rear end are for Mike. Laugh out loud. What up? All is muted. Or did he go? No, I had to step away because my dog was acting up. Bat goat. Leto, the OJ video was peak humor. He is pooping high. Bat goat. Oh boy. Hi, bat goat. Late hi to Leto. Hey, Woody, 80. I'm gonna go outside and watch August meteor shower. Well, I hope you'll still be listening, bat goat. Mike pooped. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, everybody's got to have a thing for bodily humor, right? Anyways, let's get back to this article since I'm now back. Asked by another fan if his project will be, quote, all original scripts or can some be adaptations, unquote, DeMarco noted that, quote, all options are on the table, unquote. So, code, there might be more High Guardian spice. So, already moving to test the waters of anime production prior to DeMarco's promotion, Adult Swim is currently set to premiere its first original anime series, Fina Pirate Princess, co-produced alongside Crunchyroll on August 15th. That's this weekend, guys. In addition to Fina, the programming block has also announced an original anime series based on the Blade Runner series, Blade Runner Black Lotus, and 2 adaptations, Uzumaki, which will bring to life the works of famed horror mangaka Junji Ito, and Shimue, a retelling of an eponymous video game story. We have been hearing about some of these coming along. There have been many announcements. I think they've been somewhat delayed by the whole pandemic and all that. So that's why they hadn't. They were. Some of them were slated. I think Uzumaki was originally supposed to come out sometime last year, but And that Uzumaki film has nothing to do with the Naruto franchise. Um, just for clarification, the term Uzumaki, from what I understand, is the Japanese word for hurricane. So, what do you make of DeMarco's promotion? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. I think it's just another example of the Western creators trying to usurp anime. That may be the big thing right there. Let's see. Right, so let me see now here. Let's see where we're at. We had a few things being said. Let's see. Hey, solid from Leto. Let's see. What are you saying? Proceeds. I'll be listening. Thanks, Batgoat. Let's see. Persoids. Maybe. And then solid Zach and Leto. When you stream a game again, what do you plan to play? Hey, Batgoat from Leto. And then memories of them with my kids and past boyfriends. All right, so now we're gonna get to we're at the hour 15 mark here, or just past it. We're gonna get to our last last main article of the night here. Jim Steranko suggests watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe is painful. Now Jim Steranko is a pretty well known Marvel writer from back in the day. So let's see what he has to say here. Jim Steranko suggests watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe is painful. Article written by John F. Trent, published earlier today. Famed comic book creator and cover artist Jim Steranko suggests that watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe is painful. Is a cover of a Captain America Captain America 110 from February of some year. Let's see. Source. Steranko's opinion on the Marvel Cinematic Universe came after he was asked his opinion about the adaptation of Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine was created by Steranko and first appeared in Strange Tales number 159, where she attempts to provide assistance to Nick Fury, only to be rebuffed. She then proceeds to use a judo throw and launch him back to the ground. Interesting. Tales one. That's a panel from Strange Tales 159 right there, it looks like. Her backstory would be revealed by Steranko in Strange Tales number 162, where she recounts to Fury that both of her parents were killed for aiding the resistance, and that she decided to carry on in their places. However, she was eventually recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. There you see another. A Secret Warriors number 6 in 2009, Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine would join Hydra and take on the identity of Madam Hydra. The character would be adapted for the Marvel Cinematic Universe and portrayed by actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who, of course, if as many of you might remember, played was the main female cast member on Seinfeld. She would most recently appear in the post-credit scene for Black Widow, where she meets Yelena Belova and the grave of Natasha Romanoff, and offers a job to take down Clint Barton, telling her he's the one responsible for Romanoff's death. The character also appeared in The Falcon and Winter Soldier and gave John Walker his new name of U.S. Agent after he was stripped of the title of Captain America. Steranko was asked about the live-action adaptation of Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine by Twitter user Jingoistic Pig. Jingoistic Pig asked, quote, "So, does Jim Steranko know that they turned Contessa into Elaine from Seinfeld with a purple streak instead of white?" Ah. See what his response is here. In a subsequent tweet, the user asked, quote, "Come to think of it, have we heard Jim Steranko's thoughts on the comic iteration of the character getting retconned as a Hydra plant who becomes the new Madam Hydra? I wish he could write these characters again to restore what they were," unquote. So there you go. There's a fan who is clearly stating what he kind of wishes happened. Steranko responded, writing, quote, "Hey, JP, would you be surprised if I confessed that I miss a fair share of Marvel TV series and films because some/many liberties taken in the transition of characters just don't quite seem to work," unquote. He added, quote, or maybe I'm not the masochist some would like me to be." Unquote. I take it he doesn't care for how they did it either. What do you make of Steranko suggesting that the Marvel is painful to watch? Well, it probably is for him because they're, from the sounds of it, sounds like they're basically just unloading on all of his characters. And of course, when I say unloading, that means unloading in a toilet bowl. Oh, there we go. That's the last of the main articles for tonight. Let's see what's been said. Since I Unami, quote unquote. Ross points to his head, quote, "Dude, that's an eel roll." Chandler telling Ross to shut up. Friends for those of you youngsters. And Gordon Ramsay says, "Cook and eat." Okay, from 80. More Guilty Gear Solid. I guess that's Leto answering Solid earlier. At Leto, okay, I'll see you then. Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. Consuela Banana Hammock, Bobanic. Bye bye, Bobanic. Hammock. I love watching Mike laugh, makes me laugh, also as it is infectious. Well, thank you. I try to be entertaining. So we're coming up on we're at hour 23 right now, so we're pretty good on time. So how did everybody? I know there were some new people came in. For those of you who haven't answered this yet, how did your day go today, guys? Hopefully everybody had a good day today. Solid. It's good to see you back, man. I'm glad you're back. As always, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares. Guys, if you guys haven't done that yet, helps with the algorithm, helps get more people in here. We're actually up to 5 people watching right now, it looks like, so that's cool. Hopefully everybody's been having fun. And yes, I've been being a little more entertaining, I guess, tonight. Do 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 do. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man, 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 radioactive Spider-Man. Do 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 do. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-active Spider-Man, 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 radioactive Spider-Man. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Hoof-hearted. Um, did not do well tonight. Oof. We lost bad. And the bar yelled at me. Oh boy. It's a long story. Oh boy. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. Tonight was your trivia night, Bad Coat. Oh, sorry you guys didn't do as well as usual. You are quality versus quantity. True that, 80. I love hearing you sing. Well, thank you. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of spice things up with a little singing. That's all. When was the last time any of you heard Tug or Yellow Flash or Nick break into song? Right. Not that I think there'd be anything wrong. I'm sure they have some pretty good chops too when it comes down to it, but I guess it's just not their thing, right? Saying what would Woody do? Oh yeah, I might as well. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that with a few others. Okay, what would Woody do back in '62? Driving fancy cars, drinking in the bars, picking up the dames, playing all the games. What would Woody do? What would Woody do? Back goat, da 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 da. Back goat, da 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 da. Back goat, da 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 da. Back goat, da 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 da. Back goat, back goat, back goat, da 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 da. Let's see what else. I think action, toys, channel, action, toys, channel. Let's see now. What else? It's Leto enchanted. Brain on the game. If he doesn't stop, he'll go insane. His eyes are bulging out from all the zip, zap, zipping around. Now, if he keeps playing all those games, he just might go insane. His mind just starts to rip out of its own head. It's Leto enchanted. Burn him out. It's Leto enchanted. Let him out. It's Leto enchanted. Are you ready to talk? Not going to balk. With RJ, James, and Mike, trying to get the conversation started. Speak up now. Speak up right, cause all the super dudes are here for open mic night. That last one was one I came up recently for, of course, for the open mic night on Critical Blast channel. So here we go. I know. So Woody going, oh boy, this is awesome. And back goat with a happy face and a few claps there. Let's see. 80 needs a song now. I still gotta also get the, kind of get the words down for Leto's song too. 80 is a pickle. Let's see. Laugh out loud. I like the Leto song. Yeah, well, I based it off of like Flood from Jars of Clay. I just, some of it though does sound a little like a little snarky, because the idea I got behind it is, since he does the video game streams, the idea is somebody who plays so many video games that their brain just starts to, you know, laugh out loud from Leto. We're super dudes, yes. Yeah, as I said, that last song was based on the Monday Night Football theme, and I did it a couple times for RJ and James, because I just adapting that for the open mic night for them, for that. So one day I will sing a song for y'all, as I know how to. Well, the first thing, 80, for us to be able to hear it, we've got to at least hear your voice on the mic, if not see your face on camera here. Now, of course, the next opportunity, of course, will come Monday, September 5th. You guys don't forget that when we get to Labor Day, we're going to have, that's our next open mic night on my channel here. So hopefully a lot of you will want to participate in that. We'll just kind of hang out and just talk about whatever comes to mind. So 80, if you want to participate in that, you should probably try to get a mic and, and be ready to be on camera. And of course, everybody's invited to open mic night, of course. When I do mine on Monday, on Labor Day, Monday, September the 5th. So. One day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. One day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. One day at a time. Let's see, we got an hour coming up, but we're just past hour 33. Let's see. You can have my Dazzler 3000 microphone. Okay. Let's see. My voice has been heard recently, and I would love to join open voice night. Uh, What's your favorite baby Einstein? I don't know. Anyways, all right. So let's see. Where yeah, we're so we got past the hour and a half mark here. What is your favorite color? What is your quest? Oh, now we getting into the whole question bit. I guess you'd have to say my favorite color is black, believe it or not, or red. Um, I wouldn't know what my quest is, but anyways. Oh, how's everybody doing? Everybody still having fun? We'll have fun, fun, fun till the daddy takes the T-bird away. So, so a little preview for you guys for Nick's show tonight. Starts in about 30 minutes. Or Russell Greer's amazing motion against Joshua Moon from Kiwi Farms, and Skordas and more. So whatever all that means, of course, I have no clue. Just giving you guys a heads up, and I know a lot of you. What is the speed velocity of an unladen European swallow? I don't know. See, who wants a free cat? We got enough animals around here already. Tiffany Grant, no, Tiffany Grant's actually quite talented. Tiffany Grant's the one who, and I know you've asked us about this before, poopy butt. Tiffany Grant, the Houston voice actress, who usually gets called in to do the German accent voices. So she was like Asuka Langley Soyo in Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think she played Haruka in Sister Princess, which also had a German accent. And then she also was Satella Harvenhest in Chrono Crusade. So she's usually the one they get called in to portray like German voices. So, Monty Python. Hell yeah. Fabulous. Pando comments. Cool, not really. I like Mike and going to get a bumper sticker saying so. Colonel Bat Guomo, if that is your real name. And never going to tell what Mike I like. Well, I do remember the old commercial from back in the. Sometimes I dream that he is me, and all that I want to be like Mike. I wanna be like Mike. Wanna like Mike. Wanna be like Mike. Like Mike White. Let's see. Doctor Strangelove is the movie I quoted. Okay. Well, I'm taking my time, baby. You come along. We'll be ever after I'm gone. As I take what I want, baby, you all the time. You'll be ever after I'm gone. So, we got 5 people watching now. All right, so you are a very cool person. Are you saying that to me, AD, or are you telling that to somebody else in the chat? What is your favorite truck? I don't necessarily have a favorite truck as I don't really drive. I can't get a driver's license, so Mike is cool. Agreed to you, Mike. Okay, well, thank you guys. All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything else you guys want to ask about or talk about? I know we're getting up to 6 people here, and I'm kind of running out of steam a little bit here. What is your favorite punctuation mark? I don't know if I have one, Woody. At the rate we're going, we may actually get up to 2 hours. Uh, hmm. What is your favorite food? I've got a few favorites. Um, Ham and cheese sandwiches, pizzas, ramen. Let's see. Favorite spice? Don't necessarily have one. Favorite spice girl? I would say for me, I'd have to say ginger spice was my favorite. Jerry Haltwell there. Yes. Who's your favorite troll? I don't have a favorite troll. Posh. I know how to microwave garlic. Hmm. So yeah, we're at an hour 40 now. What is your favorite weed? I don't have a favorite weed. I don't even. Which kind of weed are you talking about, Poopy Butt? Are you talking about like marijuana? And if that's the case, I don't have one. And if you're talking about weed, that's in the stuff that grows and interferes with God, I don't have a favorite of that either. OG Kush. But I can smash cooked dandelions. uh, yeah, we definitely have a lively group tonight. Wait. Maui, Wowie. Whatever happened to Acapulco Gold? I have no idea. Acapulco Gold. Dude, laugh out loud. Great minds. Oh, I got into trouble with weed. I violated the public safety law in my state. Hmm. Hmm. The conversation kind of stopped there for a moment, it would seem. And once again, of course, I do appreciate any and all likes and shares you guys gave me tonight. That we have a nice, healthy group of people here tonight. Um, if I ever win the lottery, all are invited to bonfire. Hmm. I would never do anything illegal in my state. So when I talk about weed, it is just jokes. Did you catch that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? uh, what's your favorite? All right, hey, poopy butt. I think we're getting into. You might want to be careful there because if you're first off, I don't do cocaine. I don't know if anybody else does here, but for anybody, I would suggest not answering that last question just because you wouldn't want to get in trouble with the law there. I've been convicted to at Batcode. I have nothing to hide. Weird. He's chat trolling, Mike. Oh, is he? Is that what he's doing? Is that why he's coming up with these kind of odd questions? Hmm. Anyways, guys, we're at an hour 46, so I think it might be a good time to start winding down. Are you guys ready for this day in each history? Crack is whack, and I only do herbals. He's playing. I've seen it on other channels. Yeah, back good. I don't know if you remember, but I know Solid was asking me last night if I was noticing, and it seems like one guy who seems to be changing his names around. But anyways, so Batgoat just responded, history. Everybody else ready for this day in each history? And I actually have 4 items tonight from all 4 areas. So is everybody ready? Is everybody ready for this day in each history then? Let's see. Ready? I agree with Solid on that. Okay. All right. So without any further ado, let's get ready to close this out with some this day in each history. Today being Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. Yes, haven't gone to the potty because I was afraid I would miss it. All right. Well, then I'll try to hurry through so we wouldn't want you to have an accident there, 80. So without any further ado, let's take a look at this day in each history. As today is August 11th, 2021. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Our first stop is going to be, and it's going to be an interesting one because we got 4 straight 10-year arcs here. First off, we're going to go back 40 years ago today. Is on this date 40 years ago today. The 265th issue of the Incredible, I believe it's 260. I should probably enlarge that, make absolutely sure I'm reading that right. Yeah, the 265th issue of the Incredible Hulk from Marvel Comics went on sale on this date back in 1981. Went on sale for 50 cents for 32 books. The story was called You Get What You Need. It was written by Bill Mantillo. The art was done by Sal Buscema. The lettering was done by Diana Alberts and Gene Simek, Izzo, and coloring was done by Bob Sharon. So on this date, 40 years ago today, the 265th issue of Incredible Hulk from Marvel Comics went on sale on this date. So moving on to the next piece of niche history, as it were. Let's see. What's your favorite millennial? Don't have one. Anyways, moving on to the next piece of niche news. As on this date, 30 years ago today, in 1991, Masahiro Chono, who would go on the following year to become NWA World Heavyweight Champion, would win the first ever G1 Climax tournament in New Japan. He would win New Japan's first ever G1 Climax tournament. The G1 Climax, of course, was a replacement for what was formerly known as the World League Tournament, MSG Tournament, IWGP Tournament, all that. So on this date, 30 years ago today, Masahiro Chono wins the first ever G1 Climax tournament in Japan, in Tokyo, Japan. So with that, let's see. Maybe Gen Z could be a kid. So anyway, so now moving on to the next piece in each history. On this date, 20 years ago today, Cubics, Robots for Everyone, a Korean animated series, would debut here in the States on 4Kids on the 4Kids network, 4Kids Entertainment. On this date, 20 years ago today, Cubics, Robots for Everyone would make its North American debut on Kids WB. So there we go with that one. Let's see. I bet Mike would say I am his favorite boomer. What's your favorite? Anyways, I okay. Anyways. I don't. All right, and the last piece in niche history tonight. On this date, 10 years ago today, in 2011, the Gonzo produced original net animation Kopihan would premiere on this date 10 years ago today. So Kopihan, produced by Gonzo Studios, would premiere on the internet on this date 10 years ago today. So there we go. That's it for this day in each history. Let's see what you guys have been saying here since. Let's see. Your favorite? Okay. I'm Gen X, baby. I love watching Mike's expressions. Well, thank you, Haiti. 80s was the best decade this planet has ever seen. Fact, I'd have to agree with you there, Backup. Anyways, guys, I thank you guys for being here again tonight. We got up to 7 viewers at one point, so that was nice to see. Hopefully, we'll get up to 10 soon and get 10 regularly, and have 10 throughout the show. Anyways, guys, always remember, of course, we're on every, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Pacific, or 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see everybody back tomorrow night. Don't forget, on Friday, of course, Back Go Night, we'll be doing the historical comics retrospect. We'll be looking back to March of 1938. We'll be going over the books that went on sale in DC. And also, don't forget, Monday, September the 6th, will be our next open mic night. That will be Labor Day. We'll be also celebrating 1 year of the Mikestand. I hope to see you all tomorrow night. I hope to see you all then. Let me get through these last few comments, and then we will be heading out. Worst music, but great movies. 90s had best music. The terrible movies. We'll get there, Mike. Have a good night. Peace. Thank you, Drexel, for being here. Thank everybody for being here. Ooh, 90s music. Thanks. Stinks. That go with a happy face. Peace all. Love grunge music. All right, guys. Well, I will see you all tomorrow night. Bye.